What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is a bit of a throwback to my really old F1 gaming days. So when I first got into the scene in 2010, I started off, like a lot of you guys, on the controller, and that is what I'm returning back to today, my grassroots, because as you guys know with my wheel situation, it is unusable right now. Actually, I'm going to go pick it up in an hour. So, like, by the time you're watching this video, I should have my new wheel. So that's exciting. But, for the time being, I've aptly named myself Tiametmarduk. Once again, pad hacks are going to be on my side, hopefully. So, I'm going to do some online races. That's the theme of this video. And I'm going to see if I can win a race, get a podium. I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. I am running with the controller on this game for the first time, and I'm doing it with no assist. So hopefully you guys go on to enjoy this video idea. Massive thanks to all you guys in yesterday's video for actually suggesting this. I was going to do like a Reddit video or maybe an F1 2021 predictions video, but you guys really wanted to see me driving on the pad, so that's what you're getting today. So hopefully you enjoy. First track on the list is Austria. And as you can tell already, the feel, the control on the controller is not ideal. I can't exactly place the car where I want to put it. Sometimes I can get it right, and it feels so satisfying because it's a complete guess as to when and where and how much input I'm supposed to put into my input device. It's a bit mental. So when I do get it right, it's pretty cool. But anyway, we've got our quality lap disallowed because we're running strict corner cutting rules. So this is going to be a tough old race for us from the back of the grid. So let's see how we do here in this first race in Austria. 5 red lights, and we are underway for our first race in the controller. And look at the OP start. We get on the pad. As New Zealand Ryan would say, that is a pad start if ever I've seen it. Inbuilt traction control working wonders for me there. Shooting our way up into P12, trying to find the overtake button. Instead, I brought up the MFD text-to-speech thing, and apparently we're going to stop this lap. We probably will if we lose our front wing. Anyway, turn 3, try to get around the outside of the Alpha Tauri, and excuse the janky nature of my steering inputs. It's going to be a bit light switchy. It's going to be a bit on-off for the time being. But the quicker that I can smooth out my steering inputs, the better I'll be. And this goes for you guys as well. Hopefully you guys can learn something out of this in this video. Try not to do what I'm doing. Basically, try and just be nice and smooth. If you're a pad player, try and actually turn your joystick up, press it up a little bit, and then turn to the left or right, and that'll hopefully help smooth it out a little bit, or just try and practice not going full input. Just try and go like 50% of the way in terms of steering, and you know, that'll be good for a lot of these smoother corners. Like this one here, turn 1 is pretty good for me when I don't squeeze someone into a barrier. I'm so sorry. We gave some pretty raw treatment to Flavio Briatore yesterday, and now this guy in the AlphaTauri is getting the same treatment. But this time, my excuse is I have no control whatsoever on the pad. Into the pit lane we go for a change of wing. I really do apologize to, well, anyone that I take out in this video. I kind of am a passenger, as you can see, trying to go for the fastest lap. It all goes tits up on the last lap, and that was the Grand Prix. Here's an action replay. Turn 1 was my strength around this place, but I just went in a little bit too quickly. Couldn't feel the car. Couldn't feel it losing it. And that's another thing with the pad. Another drawback is you can't really... It's harder to counter steer. It's harder to correct the slide. Once you do start sliding on the wheel, instantaneous. Just whoop, quick little correction, and you're back on your way again. So I really do respect people on the pad and the keyboard. It's not easy, especially with no assists. But here we go, 5 red lights, and we are underway for the next race. This is the French Grand Prix. Actually managed to get a qualifying lap in, but my pad start did not come in clutch for me here. I missed the start a little bit and didn't put it up in a rich and overtake as quick as what I'd like to. Through turn 1, a lot of people dying left, right, and center. Gives us P8. Some sloppy controls with the joystick have nearly given me a warning already on this first lap, but we still have our front wing intact, which is the main thing, following this Ferrari, which is a little bit loose. Speaking of loose, how's that rear end, Benjamin? Not faring too good as the Force India. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. It's Racing Point. It's a throwback video. I'm on the pad again, and for some reason, we're throwing it back with the team names as well. Anyway, racing the Ferrari, side by side through the middle sector. I've given him a bit of a squeeze. He's given me a bit of a punt. All's fair in love and war. And we have P7 against our name in this Grand Prix. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing out here. As you can see with the corner cuts, that's 2 in 1 corner pretty much. I had a bit of a frenzy in this race. I completely lost the plot. I lost my head. I know the braking points. I know the turn-in points. But when I send that information from my brain to my hands, it just can't correlate like I can on the wheel. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world. And right here we get disqualified. So, just a few simple cuts here and there. And I'm the most dirty driver in the lobby, it seems. That's also a bit of a throwback to the first time I raced with strict corner cutting rules back in YouTuber Championship, where I got disqualified 2 races in a row. I'm not good with track limits. Oh, speaking of track limits, we now move on to Monza. And against all odds, I actually managed to qualify decently. That was a pretty stonking lap at 1 minute 20.6 on the pad. And it puts us in P4 on the grid. So I'm pretty happy about this. I'm favouring my chances as we gear up for this one. 5 red lights, and we are underway. Good start this time, but not as OP as the very first attempt. We should be able to hold on to track position heading into turn 1 if everybody keeps their heads, which they don't. Ferrari going full spinala down into turn 1. That made no sense, but they tried to win the race on the first lap, first corner it seems. I've done something very silly there and may have squeezed that Ferrari into the shadow realm. I don't know what I was thinking there. Honestly, I think at this point, the pad is making me do things that I wouldn't normally do. It's weird. I'm panicking. I'm getting taken out now. That's all right. That's probably karma for pushing the Ferrari off the track. But if I was on the wheel, I would just want to left that guy space. I don't know why I decided to close the gap, which was not meant to be closed. I want to see esports drivers do this. TRL Limitless, Jimmy Broadbent, Arab, all you guys, get on the pad, try this challenge with no assists, see how you get on. Anyway, that's a 4 wide moment down the start-finish straight, and we're going to get the Alpha Tauri for good measure as well, and rocket ourselves up into P8. Clearly, I've got my braking all wrong at turn 1 because let the Alpha Tauri outbrake us. So that's an issue. It's odd. I know the braking points, I know the turning points, I know exactly what I should be doing and when I should be doing it, but I just can't execute exactly what it is I want to do. And it's a real cluster. It's a real mindfuck in my mind. And it's making me do weird things, like I said. But we've got decent track position. Don't have too many penalties against our name so far in this race. Let's hope I don't lose my head again. But this is Monza. And this is, the corner cutter's paradise, as you guys know. So let's see if I can keep up my consistency, which I think is the main thing. I can put in an okay qualifying lap, as you guys saw. But then hitting an apex, getting on the power, trail braking, all those things, lap after lap, that's what's difficult on an input device like this. This guy, Honey Badger, really giving me a big squeeze in the opening corner or two of this lap. Tasty little battle while I was having my little rant in the background. we get P7 in this race. Let's see if we can hold on to it, though. The Honey Badger is looking ever threatening. Down into the chicane. He has a big boy dive bomb. I tried to undercut, got distracted. I mean, I'm on the pad anyway. Like, there's no chance of me hitting these apexes properly. Some of the corners, I am just genuinely going to cut because I can't hook up a lap on this game, on this pad. So the corner cuts are inevitable, and they really are starting to come out now. 6 seconds, 8 seconds worth of corner cuts against our name. But we're going to see if we can get P6 on the road. This Mercedes, what are we saying? He's gone defensive. He's got no ERS left. We're going to go to the outside. Rich and overtake through Ascari, and that is job done. I'm genuinely getting so excited about this race, and it means absolutely nothing because I'm going to get sent back down to 16th place with the amount of baggage that I'm carrying in terms of penalties against my name. It's P6 on circuit, but with the penalties, we get demoted to P9. P9 on one of my best circuits on the F1 game. Pad hacks are not visible at this circuit. Let's try Japan. Let's try Japan. It's a circuit where you can't really corner cut, so hopefully we'll be able to get a solid... That's not a solid turn 1 and 2, I'll tell you that much. Let's see if we can get a solid banker quali lap in. I nearly binned it there like I did in career mode a season or two ago. I've missed that apex. I'm too far over to the right for this right-hander. Apex speed is horrific. I've touched that curb. I've just gone too slow through there. I've screwed up the entire first sector just like that, just by missing the first 3 corners. How's this one? Completely missed the apex there. It's in another postcode. The self-roast of Tiametmarduk is coming out today. Like, do I want to get any corners right on this quali lap? At all. I got that final kink right. Well done, Ben. It's a 1 minute 30.1. Probably my slowest lap ever. Maybe. Around here at Japan. I've probably done legitimate laps that are slower than that. Maybe in like a manor or a career mode season 1 car, potentially. But that was horrific. The setup was horrific too, so we're going to change that. We're going to go back to our trusty golden USA setup. Remember those memes at the start of this game cycle? The golden USA setup. It's a bit outdated, but it's a classic, so we've got to go back to it. So here we go. This is the final race of the video. We're going to see if we can win this race from P5. 5 red lights, and again, we are underway for another pad start. And look at this, going up into P3 off the start, getting squeezed. Pinballed even between the Mercedes and the Williams. They couldn't hack. That's a pad was the better device. A newbie on the pad. Couldn't handle it. Anyway, we get demoted. All of the positions down to P8. So we've got it all to do in this race if we want to salvage a podium at minimum. I want a podium out of this race. I want to finish on a high, and I think we can do it. I think we've got the pace. You saw how shocking my qualifying lap was. And we still got in the top half dozen. So I'm expecting big things out of this race. As long as I can minimize the corner cuts, keep up decent consistency, and overtake a couple of guys without crashing. Is that too much to ask? Probably. First lap is coming to a close, and we're catching up to our teammate. There's a nice little train of cars. I actually hit that chicane pretty well, which is something to carry on for the rest of the race. I think I've only got 1 warning, maybe no warning so far, so it's been a great start for us here on the pad. Lap 2, let's see if we can make an impact. Our teammate looks a little bit shaky in terms of consistency, so I'm going to favour having a go at him if I can. But yeah, pad is tricky, man. I really do respect people who run on this input device. We're running side by side with our teammate. Every time I try and talk technical with you guys, a battle emerges, and I have to focus on what's happening on circuit again. Anyway, let's see if we can get this guy. He runs in a little bit deep into that corner. He's got a slow exit. I've given him all of my momentum. Cheers to that. Should we dive bomb him? Probably not. That's not a good idea. He's run wide again. So he's given us the spot for free, and we're up into P6. But yeah, it ain't easy. Having to manage fuel modes, ERS, as well, it's a bit easier this year because the overtake is just mapped to a single button, and you don't need to utilize... Oh, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4 positions at the spoon curve. And we're now on the podium in this Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you very much. Aviator is on the way through. There in P4 behind us. He's a very quick driver, right around my pace for reference. So it's going to be awfully tough to keep him at bay. So our podium prospect is looking under threat, but we could get P2. It could go either way in this Grand Prix. I'm going to do my best to hold on. But yeah, it's not easy to drive on a pad. Change fuel mixes, play around with brake bias modes, differential, whatever. Because you've only got 2 hands, 10 fingers, and you can't... Well, it's a lot easier on a wheel because... I don't know, you've just got a lot more going for you. A wheel. You can steer with your hand, and you can use your fingers to play around with the D-pad. It's a lot easier. So anyone who's thinking about getting a wheel, do it. You should do, because it'll make you faster in the long run. But make sure you get a good wheel. Don't get a crap wheel, because then you won't have the benefits of a good wheel, such as force feedback. So I'd recommend Thrustmaster or Fanatec at minimum. Anyway, we're going up the inside of the HP Damon guy, and so is Aviator. So the Red Bull had absolutely no ERS left. I was saving a bit of mine for that run into 130R. We got up the inside, and now we have the track position for the final 2 laps of this Grand Prix. Alex Bitto, the absolute sweat of this lobby, doesn't care about having fun. He just wants to win. So it looks like P2 is going to be the best we can get out of this Grand Prix. Defending pretty hard down into turn 1 with Rich and Overtake, because Aviator had the DRS on that straight, and it was of utmost priority that I kept it behind for the time being. So the only overtaking opportunities left for Aviator are probably on the DRS straight on the next lap. I don't even mind, because I'm running low on ERS. I'm probably not going to use ERS on the run into 130R. I'm actually going to save it, and maybe if things go well, we can re-overtake him again on the start-finish straight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes through this middle sector. Need a really good exit here, because this sets us up for the second half of the lap. This corner and spoon curve, absolutely crucial corners. We seem to have got a decent exit out of there. One thing as well I'm struggling with as well is turning and braking at the same time. So trail braking as well is not easy. Just trying to bleed off the brake as you approach the apex to help with that rotation of the car is absolutely crucial. And something that comes so naturally on the pad, on the wheel, sorry, but not so much on the pad for me, being my first time again. Anyway, Aviator gets up the inside because he's using a bit of overtake. I'm saving my ERS for this straight here. So nice exit. Aviator's had a compromised exit. We're going to have the slipstream, the Rich, and overtake. And we're going to overtake him around the outside, down into turn 1. So we've outsmarted him there. He's probably run out of ERS. And so it's back to square 1 for the Racing Point Aviation pilot. Yellow flag through the middle sector. Thought that was the race leader for a second. Got my hopes up. And then I realized that Alex Bitto is leading by like a pit stop, which is things you absolutely do not love to see. Through spoon code for the final time. This exit is absolutely crucial. And now we're going to utilize all of the ERS that we've got left. We're going to completely dump it on this straight. Overtake all the way up to the apex of 130R coming up here. Very crucial not to lose the car. Now, under normal circumstances, I would probably think that I've got this P2 in the bag, but I'm on the pad and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm nervous right up until the line. You never quite know what you're going to get until you cross the line, which is P2 on a controller. Thank you very much. That was a sick race. That was actually a really sick race. To keep someone behind of Aviator's quality, like I said, pretty similar pace to me, I think, when I'm on the wheel. So to keep him behind for 2 or 3 laps there was a nice way to end my adventure on the controller. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. If you're watching my channel for the first time, consider hitting that subscribe button so you guys can stay up to date with all of my uploads. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed or learned something from me racing on the pad. You can pick up on some of my bad habits that I was doing. Maybe you're doing them yourself and you can rectify them going into the future. If you got any questions or whatever, feel free to ask, and I'll try and help out where I can. So I feel like I was at a decent level on the pad once. I'm at a decent level on the wheel now. So hopefully I can offer some insight. But anyway, until the next one, I'll see you next time.